So much in these 10 years. You built $1 billion business.
Yeah.
You have with a B, people.
I can sell this building better than anybody else. They go shopping for real estate without knowing how much they can afford. I chose success first, right? And that's really, really important to me.
I'm introducing a new neighborhood in Manhattan. Yep, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. People are gonna call me crazy, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm naming it Serhant.
So the definition of a boom is a sharp increase from a normal, and booms oftentimes can go bust.
Number one mistake that most everybody makes is overpricing.
That it's okay to have your back up against a wall. You have everything inside of you to be an amazing personal brand. You either just don't know it yet, or you haven't figured out exactly what makes you special compared to everybody else. Hey, I'm Ryan Serhant, and I'm a real estate broker here in New York City. You're actually right now in my office in Soho, and if you hear trucks and things go by, it's because it's a busy city. People ask me all the time, what's my secret sauce? How do I sell? How do I do what I do every single day? How did I build a career from basically nothing and coming to New York City, not knowing anybody or having any money, to where I was at the end of last year, being the #1 broker in New York City, leading the #1 team in New York City, #2 in the entire country, and selling $838 million worth of real estate. That's right. My first year, I sold nothing. 10 years later, I sold almost $1 billion from this desk right here. And that's what this course is about. I want to show you exactly how I did that. And it's not an overnight process. It took a lot of hard work and it was a lot of time. I want to give one caveat though. We are based in New York City right now. I am a New York City real estate broker. That's where I learned how to sell. So a lot of the scenarios you're going to see are going to be New York City based, but they apply to wherever it is you're selling. From Arizona to London to New Zealand, and I think I have some people here who are watching in Asia as well. The process of selling is the same no matter what you're selling or where you're selling it. So pay attention. And I'm also gonna show you real life scenarios. I'm gonna call my real life clients. Don't freak out.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring in real life clients into my office and into my conference room. We're gonna go on the streets of New York City and I'm gonna show you how to show homes with real sellers, with real buyers in real listings that I have. And so I'm gonna walk you through every single step. Because when I first started, I couldn't find a good training program or a good coach or a good mentor. I definitely couldn't find anything from anyone who is an active real estate agent every single day. And that's who I am. The minute you turn off this screen, you know that I'm sitting here doing deals all day, every day. And everything that I'm gonna show you throughout the entirety of this course is not just stuff I've learned over the last 10 years, but it's all my sales techniques, all my tips, all my tricks that I use every single day, both by myself and with my team. And I never had a mentor, unfortunately. I kind of wish I did. And that's why I want to do this. And that's why you're here, because I want to be your sales mentor. I want to be your sales coach. I want you to be able to watch all of these videos back over and over to help you tomorrow, next month, and maybe for the next 10 years. So before we start, before we dig deep into it, I need to take you back a little bit. I was initially born in Texas. Let's go back that far. I was actually born on a mattress in Houston. So if you had a home birth, you and me, we're bros, all right? I moved like 8 times before I hit 4th grade. I eventually settled outside Boston, and that's really where I grew up. But because my parents moved around so many times, it was always hard for me to make friends. So if you know me, if you've watched the vlog or if you've watched the shows on Bravo, you might think that I'm really, really personable, that I'm really, really social. But for the majority of my entire life, up until I got into real estate, I was like the shyest kid you've ever met. I mean, look at this photo. That's who I was. I mean, I had a very awkward, uncomfortable childhood growing up. I was terrible at making friends. I was terrible at meeting girls. I was terrible at sports. My parents tried to get me to play every single sport known to man. If you threw me a ball, I would drop it every single time. Well, actually, the ball would hit me in my face first, and then I would drop it. And then I found theater. And that's really where I started to figure out who I was and what I liked. I found that even if I didn't like myself, I could be other people. and I could improvise who I was every single day. And it gave me an outlet really to perform. And I learned a lot through theater and through acting that I now use in my real estate business. And I didn't even know it at the time. And we're gonna go through all of that in the course as well. But even though I was really uncomfortable as a kid, I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew that no matter what I wanted to do, I wanted to be a success at it. So I wasn't necessarily passionate about any one given possible career. I knew I wanted to have a great income, so I never had to worry about money, which I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way about. And I had to figure out how I was gonna do that. And every bump in the road was just gonna be that. It was gonna be a speed bump, not a brick wall. And that's part of how you harness fear, and we're gonna talk about that in this course as well, because it's really important, figuring out how to harness fear and how to harness positivity to make yourself more and more and more successful every single day. I thought initially that when I moved to New York City, I'd find success as an actor. That's what I really tried to do. And it didn't work. I basically ran out of money. And in the summer of 2008, it was get a survival job, which means basically become a waiter or become a bartender or do temp work in New York City so I can stay here, or move home. And that was like death to me. So I definitely didn't want to do that. And I had a friend who I went to college with who said, you know what you should do? You should get your real estate license. And honestly, my first reaction to that was, no way. Real estate agents are the worst. No, I don't want to do that. That's like a real job. It's terrible. And he said, no, get your real estate license. The market is great. It's awesome. And you'll make money. And then you can do whatever you want for the rest of the day. So that kind of sold me, which is all a lie, by the way. But I got sold on it. I got my real estate license. And by the time I did the whole course and did everything and started my first day at Nest Seekers, the company that I'm still at, it was September 15th, 2008. And if you remember what that day was, it was the day that Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy.
The Dow tumbled more than 500 points after two pillars of the street tumbled over the weekend. Lehman Brothers, a 158-year-old firm, filed for bankruptcy.
That was my first day. No suit, didn't own one. I had khaki pants, cowboy boots. I was starting to go a little bit gray, so people didn't know how old I was at the time. I was in my early 20s, and I had no idea what I was doing. I thought that real estate literally was meeting people on the street, posting ads on Craigslist, and showing them apartments that didn't exist. That's what I was told. I had no boss, no mentor, no one told me what to do. Other than, oh my God, the world is coming to an end, and every other broker getting out of the business, which in hindsight was the best time for me to start. At the time, was totally terrifying, but unlike other people who had had jobs and had money, I had no lifestyle to uphold. I was already out of money. So I just thought that real estate was the hardest thing in the world. And what I had to do from there was really figure out, how am I gonna be successful at this? And what I liked about the business was that I could work incredibly hard, and there was a good chance I might make even a little bit of money. Whereas when I was acting, I could work incredibly hard, and there was a really good chance I'd make no money. And I wouldn't be able to afford to even live here. And I became addicted to the deals. I became addicted to realizing that if I just figured out how to manipulate my day, if I figured out how to work with people, if I figured out how to have structure, if I figured out what I really wanted, if I figured out tactics, techniques, tips, I could actually create a real living without having any of the naturally born skills that all of these other amazing real estate agents that you probably know of have. I wasn't born totally social. I wasn't born from a really rich family. I wasn't born in the city that I'm selling. I didn't know anybody. I couldn't walk down the street or into a party and come out with 15 business cards. All that stuff scared the crap out of me. But I taught myself how to do it, and I'm gonna teach you how to do it as well in this course. I'm gonna teach you how to negotiate. I'm gonna teach you how to meet with buyers, sellers. I'm gonna teach you what you're gonna do the first moment you wake up. I'm gonna teach you what to do when you go to bed. I'm literally gonna walk you through how I've done everything my entire career and how I do it today. Because remember, I'm an actual real estate broker as I'm talking to you right now. I'm not a coach, I'm not a mentor, other than being your mentor going forward. My team right now sells about $60 to $100 million every single month, and we do it in one of the hardest real estate markets in the entire world. So if I can do it here, coming from a fat kid who liked theater and taught myself everything I know, then you can do the same. So this isn't a normal course. Any idea you have of what you think this is about to be, you need to completely erase from your memory. So I need you to get ready to become the sales machine that I know you can be, because I am right there with you. You ready? Let's go.